What are these, you ask? Well, they are my soda cars that I made as a thank you gift for my mechanics. Because if there's one thing I've had problems with over the past few years, it is my Jeep. So here's how I made the Mountain Dew Mobile, the Coke Zero car, and the Monster Mobile. First, I gathered everything I needed from the grocery store. This included the mini versions of the canned sodas and the skinnier bottles of the soda. I also picked up a piece of poster board, like the thick poster board in black for the tires. I started off by just freehand outlining the area that I would have to cut out in order for the bottles to fit down into the box. This wasn't really that difficult. I just took my time and worked around the soda bottles, how I had them laid out. I did have to stagger them because the bottles were too big to go side by side. Then I used my X-Acto knife to cut out the outline, and I realized once I had it cut out that this kind of made the perfect shape for a windshield. I'll save that for later. But I removed the cans that I needed to in order to fit the bottles inside. It ended up being 4 cans that I had to remove, so both bottles would fit inside of the box. After I finished the Coke one, I did the exact same thing with the Mountain Dew box. Once the main frame was built, I went online and just found clip art pictures of headlights, taillights, and a grille. I also asked ChatGPT to make me personalized license plates of with the names of the 3 guys that I was gifting these to. I live in Pennsylvania, so I used the Pennsylvania license plate, the newer one that came out recently. Could be a controversial topic, but I went with that one. I did the same thing with a picture of a clip art tire and rim. I cut it out to the size that I thought looked best for the mini soda can boxes, and then I wanted to add a little bit of dimension, and that's where the foam board came in. Obviously, I had a little playtime with my cat first. She absolutely loved this cutout of the tire that I first did, but I used this as a stencil for all of the other tires once she finally gave it back to me, and I just traced it out and then cut each of these out with my X-Acto knife again. This was definitely one of the most time-consuming parts of the project, but I think it definitely paid off in the end because it gave really good dimension on the side of the box to make it look like the tire was kind of sticking out. Once everything was cut out, I then took my glue gun and glued the picture of the tire and the rim to the foam circle that I cut out. I wasn't really too worried about accuracy here. I ended up trimming some of the foam off if it hung out over top of the picture, but I still think they really came out well. Once I had everything glued, I then attached it to the soda box, again, just with my hot glue gun. I then took the grill and the headlights and just kind of eyeballed it and glued them to the front, as well as the tail lights and the personalized license plate to the back. Once the Mountain Dew Mobile was finished, I moved on to the Coke Zero car, and it was just a matter of rinse and repeat. This is where it was a really fun realization because I had no plans to do this when I first started this project. But after cutting out the cardboard for the bottles to fit into the box, I realized that it looked like the perfect windshield. So I just took my X-Acto knife, made little holes so the corners of that cutout could stick down into it. And I think it came out perfectly with looking like the car windshield. If you haven't guessed by now, when we got to the Monster Mobile, it was another matter of just rinse and repeat. I didn't put any extra bottles on top of this, and I kind of laughed and made a joke that this was the smart car version of the cars just because of how small and compact it looked. Now, allow me to show you the final product one by one. Up from the boys in red, make Coca-Cola, model Zero Sugar GT, years 2026. It comes with a 12-ounce carbonated V8 engine. Horsepower comes in at 400 fizz power with a crisp torque. It has a 6-speed Siptronic transmission. Manufacturer's warned, do not park in direct sunlight. Performance may become explosive. The slogan here is simple: zero sugar, full throttle. Next up from the guys in green, make Mountain Dew, model Dew Coupe. It has a 2.0 liter citrus charged V8 engine, horsepower 420 Dew power, torque enough. It has a 6-speed dual clutch transmission. It comes in no other color than that questionably radioactive green. The warning on this one is that the vehicle may spontaneously accelerate towards the nearest Taco Bell. Slogan: do the do, drive the do, be the do. Lastly, coming in from the makers at Monster Energy is the Ultra White GT with a 16-ounce supercharged caffeine V8 engine and 150 milligram horsepower. Manufacturers warn, do not operate after 8 p.m. unless you have absolutely no intention of sleeping. The slogan is here: zero sugar, zero fear, zero reason to be going this fast. I got the guys a few of their favorite snacks as well, and I know it's not much, but it's just my way to say thank you for everything they've done for me. Oh, and one last thing, Bean told me to tell you to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Thanks for watching.